Well, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is Dana Scranton, and welcome to 8-Minute Wisdom. Now, today is a continuation of our series on my notes from The Game Has Changed. And this is an online seminar that's being put on by Tony Robbins and Dean Graziosi. So we're going to be talking about today the inflation fighting leverage. This was a concept, an idea that was put forth in the seminar, but it really wasn't emphasized that much. But I consider this topic to be very important to the entrepreneur, especially the solo entrepreneur. So let's get into this. So this whole seminar that they're teaching is about the knowledge industry, which I refer to as the knowledge economy. Okay. The idea is to create a knowledge product, market it, sell it, and that's the means by which you create your entrepreneurial success and to achieve whatever goals and purpose and vision that you have in mind. Behind that, in their Game Has Changed business system, is a product. In other words, it's a system that allows you to go through and systematically create your plan, your actions, and then have a system to put together an online presence. That's what they are selling. But from the point of view of an inflation fighting leverage product, that is very relevant to what we talk about here in Entrepreneurs Without Limits. And let's talk about why. Anything that is inflation fighting is something that does not increase in cost for you and delivers value to the marketplace without an inflationary escalation over time. So that's, to me, inflation fighting leverage. In your case, as an entrepreneur, we have covered this in our discussion of the assets that you own, the perpetual assets, things like your knowledge, your wisdom, your purpose, your passion, your skill, your focus, your energy, your enthusiasm, all of these things that you develop within you, that you create within you by learning, by doing. See, these are assets that are inflation fighting because you own them, you control them. There is no inflation, there's only escalation, acceleration of success when you apply those things. And that fits perfectly into the Game Has Changed theme. Now, I've also in prior episodes discussed the concept of there are three products: goods, services, and leadership. Goods are the tangible things, the physical goods, things that come in a box, right? Services are things that you access that don't really have any package around them, like prepaid legal services, like financial education. And then there's leadership. That's you, your leadership, and how you reach out to the marketplace to bring value to them and elevate their lives is a product. That, in essence, coupled with services and even with tangible products, is what Dean and Tony are talking about. Now, we're going to focus only here on things that don't cost you. In other words, as an entrepreneur, if you want to go out and manufacture your own line of swimwear or eyewear and market it through third-party sources, that's great. You have a tangible product. And if you find a way to manufacture that, like network marketing companies do, where you don't have to pay for any marketing until the product sells, that's leverage. But it's not inflation fighting leverage because you have to buy goods and materials, and in some cases, employees, taxes, and so forth. What we're looking to do as entrepreneurs is to leverage the resources of others using our personal perpetual assets as the capital that we invest in the process to create success for us and the company we represent and work with. Now, that company could be you, and that's where this knowledge product comes in. A knowledge product is something that you are bringing to the marketplace, the value of which is to people who want to accelerate their trip, their journey, and their arrival at success. Knowledge is how they do that. You bring your knowledge to the marketplace, you package it up, you sell it, and you facilitate the success of others. That's the whole idea behind the knowledge economy. Now, the knowledge economy is really picking up speed because people are vulnerable. They're vulnerable to the traditional employment model, which is not going so well in some segments of the industry. I mean, when you think about it, you've got high-tech companies laying off thousands of people because their products are no longer in demand, or they just up and failed, or the board of directors decided they're leaving that market segment, and they're dumping. If you take all of the companies, the retail businesses, the high-tech companies, the petrochemical-based companies that are now being impacted by, you know, the the green movements and so forth, you're talking about millions of people that are being displaced. Where are they going? Well, the idea is they are going to a knowledge-based entrepreneurial venture. One way. That's not the only way, but let's just generalize and say the online digital representation of a product, whether it's goods, services, or your leadership. And that's the whole idea behind the game has changed. The world has changed, the game has changed. And so you as an entrepreneur have the ability to bring value to the marketplace by packaging up what you know, what you do, your passions, your enthusiasm, your hobbies, things that you can find value for others in. And so that's the whole idea. That's the inflation fighting leverage, to access things that don't cost much, if anything, repackaging that like your knowledge, your skill, your enthusiasm, and putting that into the marketplace. The cost is generally getting it into the marketplace. In some cases, if you've got some mad programming skills, it's the cost of your internet subscription. Okay. In other cases like this, the game has changed seminar and the product they're offering, they're charging a certain amount of money to access their business system and all the tools that allow you to package up your business and bring it to the marketplace. It's going to cost you some money. But relative to trying to start up a company that actually manufactures physical goods, it is infinitesimally smaller and it's inflation proof. The other aspect of this is you can help others to gain access to knowledge that doesn't require it to escalate with inflation. Now, let me just leave today's notes with, let's just say, a cautionary statement. Here in the United States, we are undergoing a very tumultuous transition. It's only in the beginning, but it seems that that beginning does not have a pretty end. And it goes like this. There are countries, large countries, influential countries, who are stepping away from the United States dollar as their reserve currency. Now, what does that mean for inflation? Here's how that works. When a country no longer subscribes to the US dollar as their reserve currency, they take all of the US dollars that they have stockpiled as part of their international commerce, and they dump those by exchanging them for another vehicle that is now their reserve currency. That could be gold, a precious metal. It could be a digital asset. I don't know where it's going, but the bottom line is when they dump the US dollars onto the market, now there's a flood of dollars, and that creates inflation. And it can be hyperinflation. It can be inflation that literally destroys the economy. Okay, so that's a little, a little fatalistic, right? But the point being here is you as an entrepreneur can prepare yourself for this by getting into that solo entrepreneur mode where you leverage the very low cost but high value assets that are available to you in the things we've talked about in prior episodes, those perpetual personal assets, as well as developing relationships in certain segments of the economy where they utilize solo entrepreneurs like you to market a product, to create the relationships, to build the teams that ultimately result in their success and your success. I don't think we're out of the inflation woods here yet. I'm not an economist, but the point being is we've got some very squirrely times coming at us. And so the game has truly changed. And not so much maybe what Tony and Dean are talking about. The game is the game of entrepreneurship and the game of financial survival for those that are being dumped. So that's today's episode. Didn't mean to leave it on a fatalistic note, but it's an optimistic note if you look at it from the point of view of you as an opportunity. You can succeed. You are the opportunity. Now, I want you to noodle on that. We're in a world of chaos and change and rapid transition. That creates opportunity, but it only creates opportunity for those who see it. You are the opportunity for others. Noodle on that for a bit. All right. Well, that's it for today, and we'll see you out there on that wonderful frontier of possibilities and opportunities. And of course, in the next episode, take care.